I teach meditation and mindfulness practices. And many of my students come to my classes because they want to get rid of stress, anxiety, anger. And they're right to a certain extent. Meditation and mindfulness practice can help us manage stress, anxiety, and other negative emotions. But I want to ask you to go a bit more deeper. Negative emotions play a very important role in our life. They have a unique ability to transform us. They help to share some important messages and signals from our true inner self. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to live in a life filled with negative emotions. Far from it, all I'm trying to tell you is to be aware of negative emotions. In this workshop, I'll teach you a very simple three-step process of managing stresses and your negative emotions. Now, I want you to understand that negative emotions are bad for us. They could be harmful, they could ruin our relationships, they could impact our health. But at the same time, this workshop will talk about how you deal with negative emotions and how you harness important information and messages from these feelings. Now, in balance, I'm going to spend in the second half of the section with positive emotions. Emotions like gratitude can help us neutralize the harmful effects of these negative feelings and emotions. But before I get there, I'm going to spend some time talking about negative emotions. Particularly, I want to spend time with guilt and shame. Guilt and shame are very powerful emotions, and guilt actually is very advantageous for us if we understand how our behavior triggers guilt. After our introduction to negative emotions, we'll go to negative people or nasty people in our lives. All of us have nasty people in our life. People we don't know how to handle, who stress us out, who seem to press the right, or can I say the wrong buttons in us. So first thing you have to understand is our interactions with negative people tells us a lot about ourselves. Okay? And then the second thing is, if you just blame them or you think that they are aberrations in your life, you have to understand that there are some behaviors that are associated with ourselves. We have to take responsibility for that. And so we'll go through some basic steps on how to deal with negative people in your life. Then we come to what I call the dark trade. There are three sets of traits in us, or I should say the way we behave, that are actually our dark side. First one is our need seeking approval from others. The second one is our ability to be callous and indifferent. And the third one is this ability to manipulate others. Now, in extreme, right, all these things are very bad. If you're in extreme need for approval, if you're totally callous and indifferent, or if you spend all your life manipulating people, all those are unhealthy. And if you are in that case, get professional help. But I'm talking about the other extreme, where you don't use this at all. These are important traits in human beings, and it's good to use them in small doses. And I'll show you how they can help us be more creative. They give us the energy to take meaningful risks in our life and also improve our leadership skills. Now, if you have attended any workshop with me, you know this is not going to be a monotonous lecture. You should have your workbook in front of you. Go ahead and grab that workbook in front of you and flip through the pages. I'll have plenty of time for you. So make time for all the exercises as we do. Pause the video as and when you need to do. And then at the end of it, there's a 21-day program that I want you to create with the tools that I've given you this. So I look forward that you'll have a great time at this workshop.